Mocha family. I am super excited to share with you guys my experience with starting Toll Institute with Mocha Girl 2. She's going to be 14. She's in ninth grade. I posted quickly on Facebook, and if you're not following me on Facebook, you may want to check that out because I try to interact more personally, one-on-one, more frequently on Facebook with you guys. But anyway, I posted about what a great first day we had and asked if anyone was interested in learning more. And a couple of you did say yes, please do a recording on what your experience was like. So I'm going to tell you what it was like. And it's just so amazing to me how much I've changed in what I'm looking for in support. For all intents and purposes, I'm working with 5 kids right now with homeschooling in very different ways. And I thought that once my son went off to college that I could count him out, but he still factors into the picture. He still reaches out for support in some ways, and I have to consider him in the equation at times also. And so because I'm stretched in so many different ways, I'm really looking for a certain level of support at the high school level, and that's what I'm attracted to with Toll. I did sign my daughter up for the diploma program, which basically means that whether I'm doing things on my own or taking classes at Toll, they have certain requirements that I have to meet in order to qualify for a high school diploma, which they will issue and which is recognized by colleges as a regular diploma that any student would get from a private school. And so I am using Toll more than I've used any other umbrella school in the past. Like for my oldest 2, I did a combination of a different umbrella called Mount Sophia, and I will link both websites for both of these umbrella schools, which are in Delaware, in the description box below in case you are interested in finding out more. But with the oldest 2, I use Mount Sophia and the Potter School, which is a virtual umbrella school. For them, I didn't do any kind of high school diploma program. I simply used their live online classes. And so they were really useful for AP classes, and my son got great recommendations from a couple of the teachers there that he had. But for my daughter, Mocha Girl 2, she wants to be a veterinarian, and she's very gifted academically. And since I know that I'm being stretched in working with my 5 kids in such different ways, I really wanted a lot of structure for her. And I really wanted something to build something competitive, not only academically, but also in the extracurriculars. And I feel that with what I'm able to get at Toll, they kind of build both of the things in. So for example, she's taking an honors class, and a requirement for her to be able to be honors is to be part of Science Olympiad. And the team is already built right there. So I don't have to go off hunting somewhere for it. And, at this time, your girl needs that help. I believe that looking back, there would have been a time where that would not have appealed to me because I had more to pour into putting all those little pieces together myself. And it just so happens that I like the materials that they're using at Toll and the way they've put things together. But if I didn't like it, there is a way for me to make adjustments. Not a whole lot of room, which is why I would have appreciated Mount Sophia more in the past. There's not as much room to make something unique for myself, but there's still a lot of room to do that. And so I couldn't be happier about how this is all fleshing out for me. So let's get to what the first day was actually like. First of all, they required that on the first day, at least one parent shadow each child. They want one parent. So if you have more than one child, and you and your husband can't do it, it could also be a trusted adult that you send with your child to sit in each of the classes. And they're abbreviated classes. And the reason they want that is to hone in the point that this is not a private school where now that your child is signed into this school, you can turn over the full education of your child to this school. This is a situation where we're lending additional support to you, but you are still the primary teacher of your child. This is still homeschool. And they really brought that in, especially in the math class. The guy pointed out, your child is coming to my class for about an hour once a week, whereas kids that are in more typical brick and mortar school settings, they're getting that much every day, all week long. There's no way that they can get all of that instruction from coming in just that hour. And so as a parent, I'm required not only to oversee my child's schedule, but to lend that additional instruction during the week. I have to do some of the grading. I have to do some of the turning in of the work and making sure that the work is turned in, and really just come alongside my child. And I see it more as a tutorial type situation than as a teacher standing there and doing all of the lecturing. So the main lecturing is done, but there will be some details that I need to add. So I really enjoyed that one-on-one time with Mocha Girl 2 and sitting in class with her. And, you know, sometimes I sat next to her. I think there was one occasion when I kind of sat off to the side and she sat with some girls in her class. But I really like watching her handle herself in that type of situation. And so that much was good. So another thing that they did was there was an assembly when we got there, and we met all the important figures like the principals and some of the teachers, and mostly from the perspective of some of the extra stuff that they were offering. Like this person was in charge of the athletics department, and he talked about the basketball program, and we got to go up and meet him one-on-one. And this school is relatively small. I thought that it was going to be even smaller just because on the interest day, the day that they had when you went for the informational, there weren't a whole lot of people there. So I was kind of picturing like maybe 5 students per class. But in actuality, there are about at least 10 students in each of my daughter's classes, which I think is a nice size. So I couldn't be more excited about that. So after the assembly, we went from class to class to class, but I noticed that on the stage at the assembly, there were bags that were full of books. We were asked to pay a $100 book fee, and all the books for all of my kids' classes are, covered under that $100 book fee. And these are textbooks, workbooks, teacher answer keys, teacher instruction manuals, and what we're essentially doing is we're borrowing the non-consumables and we're keeping the consumables, but I only have to pay $100, which is, if you homeschool, that's nothing for high school and to cover all of your child's books. And so I was excited about how all the books were already there. There was a list for me to check off that I received the books that they said that I would get. And there was a list that I could take with me and keep for my records so that at the time that I need to return the books, I can check off again and make sure that I'm returning all of the books. Love that. Some people might say that's overkill. I mean, I know that at Mount Sophia, we had it was like any other school setting where you just order all the books for your classes on your own, and there was no kind of borrowing type of situation like this. But I mean, I think that not only did I save money, I saved a lot of time, and some of those books I probably would want to try to resell at the end of our experience anyway. So I couldn't be happier with that. And the teachers actually made themselves extremely available to help me. You weren't only supposed to check off the title, but they actually had numbers on each of the books that corresponded with the level that your child was supposed to be taking the class at, so that you could make sure that you were really getting the right book for your child. And I was checking my stuff off wrong, and one of the teachers came over and helped your girl to do it the right way. And so I also liked how available and how visual they were, how aware they were of where we as parents were and how willing they were to help us along. I'm not going to lie that I was extremely overwhelmed by all the information that I was getting at once, but I would imagine that that would be your experience in any kind of first day type of situation anywhere. So I just want to take it one day at a time and just be ready for what comes next. So after we went from class to class, they gave us a planner, and the planner is a way for us to organize our school day. Not just that I'm going to do math on Tuesdays and Thursdays, but since we have syllabi for each of the classes, and a certain number of work due every week, the hope is that you'll then take the syllabus and plug in, okay, for math, I'm going to do page this to this and finish this exercise on this day, and hopefully divide it up throughout the week to be able to get all the work done on time. And so I was so excited that I was going to come home and do these things with Mocha Girl too, but she was like, I got this, Bob. I could handle this. And so she went and did a digital version of this online for herself. And, it was a struggle because I was really hoping to use that handwritten book, but my daughter is purely like her father. And so today I'm going to check out her digital version, and I'm going to adapt what I wanted to do in the book to that, because I just have to respect and honor how she wants to work. And the long-term goal for high school is that each child will learn how to work independently, that they'll become self-teaching, that my role will be more so get to work than to sit over their shoulder every step of the way, making sure that they do their work. And the success of that will be seen when they get to college and are able to manage their schedule well independently. So true learning is that learning that is self-motivated and self-directed. So that's always my goal. So I'm really excited about where this will all go. They did end the whole day with a picnic where you could interact with each other more. But since I knew that I had my younger ones going at home with my husband and my oldest daughter, I really wanted to get back to them. But overall, I'm just extremely excited about what this is going to look like. So as we go along, I will be sure to get back in here and let you guys know how it's going. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments down below. But I'm so excited.